But I think Big came out really strong.
They did really well.
Performance.
And they were almost, singing that same old song where they barely win and then lose. But this time they actually won. They turned the tables, and hopefully that's something that they can do throughout this season, because that's what they needed last stage.
They really needed that win, I think. And it's so, like, I have this in a lot of things. If I start out great, it's so much easier to carry that momentum than if you practice a lot for a tournament and then you just end up getting a smack in the face, like, oh, losing the first game, right?
And I mean, that's tough. So Big coming in with some momentum, but on the other hand, we have Into the Breach that lost yesterday's game versus Solary. I mean, Solary also had a great performance. Pack was just unbelievable pace on so many of the maps, and Call Jr., of course, playing that supporting role. So ITB had some trouble there, but they can come back now and show that, hey, we are back. We can take down Big.
Definitely, and now we have to look to like picks and bans, right? Because picks and bans is a big part of the game. You have 10 tracks, they're all brand new, and yesterday we got to see all these new lines. So if you're Big, you're looking at that Into the Breach line on Vortex, the map where they bug slid, and you're thinking, do we ban this away? Do we ban off-road where Mime dropped an insane world record? Like, where do you place your one ban? You only get one, and where do you place your first pick?
It is difficult because the tactics when it comes to stuff like that. Do you see? Okay, ITB favors. They first picked this map last time. They're gonna favor it. We're just gonna practice it extra to make sure because we know they're gonna pick that anyway. Or do you ban it away and then just practice some of the other maps? It's difficult to know, but you can always cater towards because they know who they're gonna play against next time, right? So you can cater towards your enemies if that makes sense.
Your enemies.
Well, what do you...
The opposing forces.
Okay, I mean, it might have sounded a little more drastic than it had to, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, these boys are all friends in the game, so they are opponents, I believe we can call them. But they are not going to hold back.
You're the one who said something about information wins wars, and then
it's true. It is true, Jnic.
Saying that this was wars. Like war,
and it hopefully wins battles in the Grand League as well. All the players are giving the ready check for the pick and ban, so let's hop in and have a look at what they opt for. I think Into the Breach, they've shown they're a team that favors tricky maps. They're gonna opt for things like off-road and Vortex, I believe, if left open. Big are more favored towards, let's call it old school maps. You got Pool, you got Airwalk, you got Speed, which is a surprising pick for them because I'm not really like it too much, but Speed's a good map.
Big did ban off-road last time.
They did.
They might do that again against ITB. ITB banned Speed, so I mean they might counterban each other there. And as you said, Pool was a really good map for Master and Grenadi. They first picked that as well, so they might do that once again today. But we're gonna have to see if
first ban coming through off-road taken away.
There you go.
And that makes sense.
Same ban twice, 2 times in a row.
So Vortex is open. Vortex is
and
open.
Speed, okay, so exactly the same bans as we saw yesterday.
And this is probably gonna be Vortex at some point here, because we gotta see if Big have done their homework and learned that line.
But we gotta see if they're gonna pick Pool here first pick. Oh, sorry, this is Elcon's.
This is Into the Breach picking first.
ITB. So
they go for grip.
They go for grip. Okay, I mean, a solid map, really great map to watch, being played with the precision of the speed as well.
Yeah, and that one line that they have there, Pool the answers. So we do see
first picked Pool. So
no surprises yet.
No, Big going with the exact same pick and bans as yesterday. Vortex being picked there
on the cards.
I mean, you would assume that Big knows the line now.
Here I'm hoping we get something like Sinuous. Sinuous not been played yet, but you have Elcon, great at full speed. There's something not a lot of people think about, but he's one of the world's best full speed players. And Sinuous has several speed slides on it. It could be very interesting to see that. Or they could go for something safer like Airwalk, Frosty, and Braking that they've seen Big's pace on.
Yeah, I mean, they did first pick Frosty last time, like yesterday. So it would make sense for them to pick Frosty. I think Mime did really well on that map with some of the inside lines there on the downhill.
Had the world record until Mura beat it.
Yeah, so definitely a strong pick for ITB. But
let it be Sinuous, Jnic. I want to see the last map. We have not seen this map at all being played yet. What a pick it would be if they go for it. Sinuous, please, for me.
I think we're gonna see Sinuous being.
Yes!
It got picked. It got picked.
Yes!
There
I'm so
you go.
excited. We get to see this map. It's one of my favorites in the map pack. I actually hunted this one a little bit. The E version.
Okay.
So I know some of the quirks more or less, but Sinews is played, and the last pick Airwalk from Big Clan.
There you go. Okay, so
I really like this set.
And then Frosty random.
I hope we go the distance. Yeah, Frosty the random.
Okay, so I mean that means that if we go to a map 7, it does seem like ITB has the favorable position. They did play Frosty last time and did really well on it. So
I also cannot imagine how hard that is for Grenady when he switches from steering wheel to keyboard.
Oh my god,
those
yes.
Ice 360s. But what a set we have! It's about to kick off. Do we have game audio, Jnic? Because now I'm not sure.
I am hearing game audio.
Then we do have game audio. That's great. Okay, just making sure that we can hear the cars today.
Are you not hearing the cars?
I am hearing the cars.
That's amazing.
It's just a really faint, like, ka-chow in the distance.
That is not the cars that I meant. I was talking very specifically about something different. What is the car with the mustache's name?
Doc Hudson?
Doc or Doug?
Doc? No, I think it's Doc.
Doc. Yeah. That's yeah. Okay.
But now that we are docked in, ready to go, we should have a look at this first map.
You might want to remove the very, very big arrows on screen.
Yeah, those are...
Those are incredibly huge. Are you blind? Like, how do you play with that?
I don't play on this computer, Jnic.
Why do you... Okay.
This is a working station. A battle station.
That's what I would have said if I just got caught with the biggest input screens in the history of the game.
I need to get a vision check, but right now, Grip, we're starting out round 1 into the breach versus Big. Make your predictions in chat who you think might win this one.
If you have not seen this map before, guys, it is a very speed precision type map. So you can see already in the start they had to... Oh, that's a mistake from Mime coming in early. That's going to put Big in a great spot here. Only Elcon can deny them those 2 or 3 points.
It's a 2v1, and then this line here is the one that really surprised some teams yesterday, going in between the pillars to get more speed on this plastic.
Oh, Grenady is going to shoot forwards here.
Yeah, that was great. Very well executed from Grenady, the steering wheel player. Every other player in the league is either keyboard or controller, but Grenady, he likes his steering wheel and he uses it with great proficiency here. Into the underwater part, freewheeling as well, the speed you carry there, important. But here, as you said, this is where the map really shines in the balancing act. If you go too fast here, the car will tilt and fly off. You can see the players are actually driving just on that spot where it's on 2 wheels to carry as much speed as possible. Grenady, first place, Elcon denying an ace with that second.
Yeah, that's an important second place for ITB. Elcon did well in making sure that he maintained that second. It is very risky in the end. You can see all 3 of the players, they really pushed it. Driving on those 2 right wheels all the way through the identity section. I mean, that is scary.
Yeah, you can see the speed on the back of the cars, and the number players tend to aim for is 190 to be safe, but upwards of 200 if they're risking.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like, you are really just...
Oh, ITB taking an early lead already.
That start is interesting, because that's already like a 10th or 2 to Massa, who missed a little bit, even 3/10.
Yeah, and it's all like in the airtime that you get with when you want to get that ring checkpoint, all the way up to how much airtime you get in the ramp cut that you know, comes right afterwards.
Good outside line setup here from Massa, though. He hasn't lost more time, and he's still in contention for this, but he does need Grenady to make a big effort, and he flies off the track. So now, opportunity for Into the Breach. Can Elcon win this battle against Massa? Mime looks to have first place on lock. Massa crashing out. Grenady has made another mistake, and that means Into the Breach here are going to get an ace on their map choice.
That is a great response to losing that first round, coming back with an ace, showing that we are not shaken at all by the fact that you got the best of us on the first round. We'll come right back with an ace. ITB taking the lead 4-2.
Yeah, also just really nice if they can find that consistent 101 pace, because it's always interesting in the league, like seeing where the times on the maps end up. Yesterday, you know, before this line, the world record was a 101.6, and now it seems like the players are steady at 101.8, but then as we progress, I'm sure that'll go lower and lower, and it's...
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna look back at these times you're driving now like slow times in a few weeks, which is crazy.
And you can of course see at the top right or top left of the screen, a 101.344 by Pack is the current world record. So if you want anything to you know, judge these players by, that's the time to beat. We can see, but Pack was incredibly fast on this yesterday.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I think Mime also dropped to 0.4 or 0.5 roundabouts, so he has Great pace himself. Also good splits right now, but he slides out. Grenady in the lead. And now onto the grip part. Can Masa pass Alcon here? He's very close. Only a car length away. Onto the outside line here. He goes very inside compared to Alcon, who passes Grenady. The position switch up, and it's only a draw, a tie.
ITB will take that, though, still being 2 points ahead. And the closer you get to those 7 points, when you get into the match point position or the track point position, that's when you start putting a lot of pressure on your opponent's team. But Big looking to get this down, because winning your opponent's map is such a big message to send.
Yeah, and we haven't actually talked about the points format today. There might be new people. If you're wondering what is actually being played for here, they're going to 10 points on a track. Once they reach 10 points, they win that map, and they have to win
Masa with a slight mistake there. He's not even gonna make... Oh, he barely made the jump. But he's gonna lose quite a lot of time there. A full second behind. But to continue what Virtual... I think that was a slight mistake there as well from ITB. And now it's Mime and Grenady is gonna fight it out. But there's 3 ways you can get points. If your team gets first and second, you score 3 points for your team.
It's an ace.
And your opponents... Yeah, opponents don't get any points. If you get first and third, your team gets 2 points, and your opponents get 1. And if you get first and fourth, it ends in a draw, and both teams get a point. So Mime, right now, trying to make sure that his team gets the round victory and getting those important 2 points. Grenady, such a beautiful ending line from Grenady. Also bugging through
the finish.
Yeah.
Can we get khaki maps in next TMGL?
Okay, ref, hello, something going on?
That's a little bit sus, but very nice ending from Grenady, and that was just such a good demonstration of knowing the right spot to all in for the speed.
Yeah,
if he'd gone a little bit earlier, the car would have flown off with airtime, and if he went later, he would not have the speed to win. So it was just
that was
beautiful
perfect. Wow, it really does seem like ITB knows how to do that start, because they are consistently a couple of car lengths ahead. Grenady getting a perfect half pipe, getting all the way up to second place. See if he can get a little bit of a better line than Mime right now. He always goes really tight to go for a long speed slide. That should give him a momentum enough to at least get closer to Mime. Not quite with the overtake, but Mime was looking for the breakaway there, and he did not get it.
Mime's on great splits right now. This is pace for 101.4. or around there, but we know Grenady has a crazy ending here, and he is getting closer. Really good line there. Mime missing a bit, slipping up on the sand. Grenady, though, into the pillar, will be passed by Elcon, and suddenly this could be an ace if Masa does not hold on to that second place. 2 crashes, Mime winning the round, and it's a draw.
I mean, that was an important crash for Big. Elcon, the fact that Elcon did not make that turn, you could see everybody pushing as hard as they could. Grenady drove on the very tip between flying off the map. Like, that was incredible precision. I don't know if he's practiced being so close, but I think I would not feel safe during that turn like that. There's no way.
I'm sure that was a chaotic situation. It's like, bro, if we had aced here, the map is basically gone, so they had to push for that. And it does end up in their favor. 76, they've actually closed this gap a little bit, but this time it's Big with the better start, and they gained a lot of time in the middle. Having said that, Masa almost too short on the quarter pipe jump, but making it through. Now in between the pillars. Gotta avoid the airtime, and Alcon losing a lot of time. Look at this, Jnic. Suddenly, this is a great spot for Big.
If Big gets the ace right now, they put themselves in such a favorable position, but they still have to see if they can get Mime on that third place, and Masa is just trailing a little bit behind. But Mime touches the corner of the water block, and that's gonna be Grenady and Masa being fed this ace on a silver spoon. They should be able to see that on the left side of their screen, telling each other, just save it. It does not look like Masa saving it. I mean...
That was not called, you can tell, but they do still win the round here with the ace, and, well, Into the Breach get one more chance on the 9-7.
This is really good for Big. Like, if they can win the first map, one thing is that it gives you momentum, but another thing is it's your opponent's map choice, and it's their first pick. Like, it should be the map that they feel the most comfortable on, right?
It really should be, and they still have the chance with an ace here, but we've seen both big players being able to drive mid 101, so that's not gonna be an easy ace. You have to risk it already with the mistake from Mime on the first ramp cut. It might be sealed and locked in for the Germans.
For the people watching, anything short of an ace will make Big win this map, which means that Mime and Elcon needs to be first and second. Anything else will not do. And right now, Mime is 7 seconds behind.
Yeah.
I am sure that Masa and Grenadi, they understand the situation they're in, so they don't need to care about Elcon. They don't need to
battle Elcon at all.
They don't need to be in front of Elcon. It makes zero difference.
Yeah, it's just get to the finish here, lock it in. Big taking map 1. I think we can dare to call that already without cursing anything here on the desk.
We've never cursed anybody.
We've never cast curse. No. Amazing performance from Big taking map 1.
The only thing we do is we bless one team, which, you know, means that the other team needs to, you know, you can only bless one team at a time.
Yeah.
So we never curse anybody, we just bless the other team. That's what happens.
It's like we use our ability to bless one team to make the script better.
Yes.
We're actually chefs right now in the kitchen, cooking up a great dish for you, chat.
They do call me the Gordon Ramsay of Trackmania, so...
The Gordon Ramsay.
Not Gordon Ramsay, Gordon.
Gordon. Well, this is gonna be a slow cooker. This is gonna be a rotisserie chicken of a match. All right? There's gonna be gourmet, Michelin star, Michelin wheels, everything you could hope for.
Also, just letting you guys know that we do play replays every single game, so you guys can see some of the highlights going on. Shout out to the production team and making the show just a little bit more professional.
That ending line from Grenadi, that's beautiful.
I love the bug that happened. Like, what is that? What is that? Flying through the finish? Okay.
I've had that actually on a map, just a campaign track, and I was like, I want to make a khaki map out of this exact bug in the game.
Oh,
but I never did. So if someone wants to make one, I could get into the next khaki. But the match is going on right now. We're going on to pool. This is Big's choice, their first pick. So already won their opponent's map. Could make it 2 in a row with their own. But Elcon and Mime are not slow on pool. This is a very competitive map in the sense that it doesn't really have a lot of tricky parts like the reactor boosters and such. So you're gonna see close racing lines being the deciding factor.
We do have this section, which is pretty important. You want to slide, and then you want to counter steer to stop the slide at the very point where you are able to full turn without hitting a wall and accelerate at the same time. It's kind of a tricky thing to do because you need to like know exactly what speed and what angle you have. But the better you do it, of course, the more speed. We have a mistake.
We have a mistake from Masa. And this is a map that you don't see a lot of mistakes on, so it's going to be favored for Into the Breach. Can they get this ace in the ending under the underwater part right now? Grenadi trying to push ahead of Elcon, but he's only ahead by a wheel at most into the last turn. Can Elcon snipe this away somehow? No. Grenadi is going to hold strong, and it's a regular victory for Into the Breach.
And the difference between getting a victory and getting an ace is so huge. Like, if Grenadi did not make that second place, they would be 3 points behind. And we've talked about this. You need 3 regular victories just to come back from that deficit.
Yes, that's 0.08 of a second. That essentially saves them 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Regular victories.
Like, it's I know it doesn't sound like a big difference, but it's a huge difference.
Yeah, like at most on a map, you know, we play like 7 rounds. If you're 3 rounds behind, that is a lot to catch up again. And now we hope to see Masa being able to survive the turn. Had a small slip up right here after the water part. The very tricky no slide, as you mentioned. Tough mechanic to master, but it gives them more speed. And then here, you want to dare to go close on the corner. Everybody getting through this time, but Elcon on the exit making a mistake, and suddenly roles are reversed.
And that happens because Elcon wants to get a high apex of the turn to make sure he gets as much exit speed as possible here. Masa and Grenadi, they are looking to close in their own ace here. Mime needs to deny. Is he able to do so? Ooh. He is neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder with Grenadi.
Oh,
he
so
almost
close.
Overtakes. Is he going to be able to make it? He gets a wider line. It's not going to happen. And Big get an ace, putting themselves up to 4 points.
So clutch from Grenadi. First being an immaculate defender, denying the ace, and then with a risky ending there, securing it by 400s for his team. That's heroics right there.
I mean, that is impressive. And that puts Big in a great position right now to win their own map, and 2 maps in a row. I mean, that's, you can't ask for a better position to be in.
And, you know, like, the basics of Trackmania is just drive fast and win, right? But it's also, in this 2v2 format, recognizing what spot you're in and what decision you need to make. Right there in the ending, he's going all in. Because the mistakes happen from Elcon. He wants to full send and secure the ace, and now they have this big 3-0 point round.
We go into this no drift section again. Want to make sure you get as much momentum. You can see how long that straight is afterwards. So the momentum you get out of that turn is huge. Can save you all the way up to 0.1 of a second, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you see it in action, it is an impressive amount. Masa going a little bit wider. I think he's going to get more speed out of that turn, overtaking Mime for that first place, and Grenady here on third might be able to do something. He's attacking here from behind, looking to see if Mime has any holes in his armor that he can poke through here. Mime overtaking for first. He's all alone. Is he going to be able to make it? I think he is. He denies Big that victory, and that's going to be a draw.
Great times as well. Last round we had 105.2 being the winning pace, and we see it again. That is just a 10th off the world record, so that is incredibly impressive to drive by all the players here. Clean rounds. This is what we love to see.
105.173. Be sure to look at that top left corner so you guys can always reference the record here. We will
I want a 104 on this. 104 seems so far-fetched because where do you gain 3/10 on these racing lines? But it's always so tempting just when they're that close to a second barrier to see it drop below.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, yeah, second barrier is always great because it's probably not going to go lower than that second barrier, right?
It probably isn't, but then, you know, never know if people are saving lines for playoffs, etc.
That is true, and if you guys at home...
Oh, Masa, another mistake on that corner. That's the second time now.
Oh, this puts Grenady in a tough spot. He needs to deny this ace from Into the Breach. They want to maintain this 2-point lead. He does end up in first by the time that they enter this identity, but he needs to keep it. He's about 2 car lengths ahead. This is a healthy lead, extending the lead quite a bit as well. 2 turns left for Grenady to make it. That was very, very close to the outside wall, but he executes it beautifully. 105.269. Very nice time coming in from Grenady.
And such a strong end too. Like the splits he had there felt like they were on pace for, you know, a 0.3, 0.4. He makes it a 0.2, so that was a great ending.
It was great. I mean, it was a little bit risky as well, honestly. Yeah. He went super wide.
It really, so far on this map, seems like Grenady has that ending on lock. He's driving the fastest every time in that sector. So pay attention to Grenady, because if he's not too far from the other players, going into that underwater part, he's likely to win the round.
That is true. Oh, that was very low from Mime there as well. It worked out for him, though. Masa now in contention for the lead. Mime going so close to that hole. Might as well have clipped right there, but risking it to maintain the lead. He gets a better exit. Mime is going to shoot up ahead, and you can just see fast. You can see the momentum. Just on that straight, that's 2 car lengths right there.
A full 10th of a second, and then here he does something very interesting where other players opt for the wide dirt line. He's just like, nah, let me take the shortest possible turn. And he will temporarily gain time, but have a little bit less speed, and you can see the others creeping closer. Might end up about equal. Once again, we go into the underwater part, and Grenady is quite close. Elcon sliding out, and both big players are up there with Mime. They practice the identities, and look now, can Grenady try to pass him? They were risking trying to hunt him down, but Mime holds first place, and Into the Breach win the round.
Into the Breach do win the round, putting themselves 1 point closer to Big, but Big has put themselves in that dangerous track point where an ace will give them the map victory. So they're going to be looking for that. They're going to look to close it out as soon as possible. You don't want to give Into the Breach any more chances that they already have, because they are a really dangerous team. Masa going so low there in the first jump.
That was an impressive line from Masa, and he does get the lead here, but there's so many intricacies about this track that even though you get 1 line right, if you miss the next one by a little bit, or if you do it really well, like we saw Mime in that tight part, you can gain just all of it back. And
but Mime is 0.2 behind now, so it kind of looks like it's Elcon that's on the job, trying to hunt down the 2 boys from Berlin International Gaming. He is about a car length behind. Mime getting a lot closer with that drift. That was a beautiful drift executed there. But Grenady and Masa in the lead all alone.
Yeah, they have to push for this now, because the ace, as you said, will give Big the map, and that is the positions that they have right now. Going into the underwater part, they have a great ending. If they don't crash, like in the previous round, this should be the win. Elcon crashing out, Mime as well. Are they going to get through the last turn? Masa and Grenady hand in hand into the finish line, taking 2 maps back to back.
That is impressive gameplay coming in from Team Big. Masa and Grenady really showcasing Pool is their map. You saw just how in tandem they played that entire map. They were driving inside of each other's ghosts.
Yeah.
All the way through the map.
It's really fun to see Big this season, because last season I felt like, as you said, they had so many mishaps. They really didn't get the breakthrough that they were prepared for, you know? Like, they had practice, they boot camped, they did all the routine, but then in match, it felt like things just crumbled. Right now, we're seeing, you know, really strong performance all throughout, and I hope to see it continue, because they are, on paper, some of the best players.
Oh, absolutely, and they've also showcased some of the best times on the maps with the consistency here.
But we're going on to Vortex, and this map is the one where we saw Into the Breach debut, the bug slide line yesterday. We know they're gonna use it, but have Big put it into their repertoire, and are they gonna answer back with it? Or maybe they're gonna stick to what they did.
And this is
yesterday.
one of my favorite maps.
It's so cool.
I love the aesthetic with the moving parts. It reminds me of the Royale game mode, so it's just a fun watch.
So let's show what we're talking about here. On this turn, the Into the Breach players go out wide, and it looks like they're the only team doing it. They're gonna get more speed here, and with that speed, they're gonna jump up on the reactor booster and land in a bug slide to carry speed towards the next checkpoint. Mime missing it a little bit, but Elcon using it, and he will only end up equal. But yesterday we saw splits of about 2/10 faster than this with that line.
I love just how in tandem and the exact same lines that the big boys
they are. It looks like one car.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. They've found a rhythm that works so well for them, and they're just executing it beautifully. Masa, they're getting a little bit more of an inside line that's gonna push him in front of his teammate, making a small breakaway, but that does not matter because his teammate right behind him, and Mime looking to attack, but it's so difficult gaining time here on the last section because it is just a full speed straight into the finish, and that's gonna be an ace for Berlin International Gaming on Into the Breach's map again.
Yeah, this is tough for Into the Breach. You lose your first pick, okay, you play their pick and you lose that one, fine. But then you get aced round one on perhaps your strongest map with the line that you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, but we're gonna see this line.
Oh no!
That's gonna lose him. So he's out of this round, unfortunately. Elcon now he's gonna showcase us once again this line where he goes out wide. The big boys, they're gonna go inside, but Elcon goes wide, gets all the speed, sets up, tries to get into a position where he can bug slide land here, and that's gonna push him way in front of the others.
So far ahead. That is a great split too on the checkpoint. And let's see if he sticks to landing. He does, so this is going to be one of the fastest runs that we have seen on the map yet. 37.1 on the checkpoint. And with the mistakes that have happened, this could result in a draw, but Elcon right now, the only thing preventing them from getting double aced, and it's so important for their mental that he sticks this.
Yeah, so the thing is, Elcon, he knows he's 0.4 ahead, he knows he's kind of safe, but he cannot afford to release here.
Ooh, that was so scary, the push almost getting him off the pipe on the identity, but he does get through, and what's this time going to be? 1:05.57, almost breaking the world record on the track, which is set by Dexter, the 1:05.50.
But as we've stated multiple times before, the world records driven offline, or not offline, but on the campaign servers, you are able to risk way more than you are in a live round where you only have one attempt.
Yeah, like Dexter's record is set offline where he just pushed for one.
Oh, Grenade! That's a full respawn, and that's gonna be a very dangerous position. Masa has to do what Elcon did last time and hopefully try to see if he can make this a tie.
Yeah, but this is tough because Masa is playing at a deficit, you could say, without that line. If the Into the Breach players land this, they're going to gain 2/10, and Masa have to balance that out somewhere. He has to find those 2/10 in the rest of the map. Looks like they bowed almost.
Oh, Elcon just flying through the map. Is that the next thing we see, them just fly straight over to that checkpoint?
You know, I could see Medicine doing it, and he's not too far from the Into
But
the
before
Breach
you guys think of any too wicked strategies in the chat, there's a rule book for the tournament, so they're not allowed to bonk a wall, for example, purposefully to gain a specific line, and I don't think they're allowed to cut the map. So
no
even
shortcuts either.
So if you could fly over there, they were not allowed to.
But the really interesting thing is that
Mime, that's actually gonna put Grenade up to second place because Elcon is behind, and this could be another ace. So important for Berlin International Gaming. Grenade getting that second place. Masa way in the lead. 3 seconds behind comes his teammate in, making sure that he didn't do any. They aced it. He did a full respawn in the start and still got second.
That is great mental fortitude by him and disaster for Into the Breach. This is falling apart. Everything is just, it seems like everything is going wrong for them at every step of the way so far.
I mean, a 7-1 score on your opponent's map choice, that is such a good mental state that Big is in right now. I think, and Elcon flying out as well.
There is despair going on the server right now.
is okay. I mean, it is not an easy map. And what happened to Grenadi right there is that he wants to get a lower airtime on the half pipe to push himself to accelerate earlier.
There's a very close battle between them, by the way. 6 seconds exactly behind.
So there's a battle for third and fourth, and a battle for first and second.
Yeah,
we have
like
two individual battles here.
The chances of this happening are so slim, but you can gain a position here and have an impact even though you're 6 seconds behind for both of these players. So looks like Masa is very much so in charge of this first place battle with great splits up
He should
there.
be able to get this down for the first place.
Yeah.
Mime also had to release quite tremendously. So he's going to be more than a second behind. Grenadi putting himself in a great position as well. If Masa gets first...
Masa will be getting first here.
Grenadi gets third. That's 9 points
Alcon's
for
fast.
Big.
Oh, is he fast enough to get back there though? No, not quite. 9-2 gonna be the scoreline.
I mean, this is pushing into the breach into a spot where they had to ace twice in a row and then some.
Yeah, and if Big takes this map, we need to see something unprecedented. We have never seen a reverse sweep in the entirety of the World Tour so far. Only in the Challenger League has it been done once by Team Sprout, but never in the Grand League. So they are getting pushed to a spot where it's something like it's never been won before from this far back. So they have to really.
I also think that this is the worst we've seen ITB be beaten since the start of the World Tour as well. Like, I don't think they've been swept
mistake
before.
from Grenadi, I believe.
Oh, Elcott just flying again. He lost so much speed. That's gonna get Masa up there. This is really dangerous because anything else than last places for Big is gonna give them the victory.
Yeah, like Elcott needs to get past Masa here.
Yeah.
That's their only condition to stay in the game, and that is far. That is very far. Masa even passing Mime for good measure. Driving another good run here, so... I think they're beating them on the consistency though. Way too many mistakes from ITB on this map, and it's super unfortunate because this was like their hidden weapon, you know?
Yeah.
This was their ultimate ability, and it is going to be Big taking the map quite dominantly here.
And if Big gets this next map, they will be the first team to ace into the breach. Like they haven't been aced before. So
dude, they bumped the car sounds. Did you hear that?
Yeah, they bumped that. This is some VR real life
racing.
Realistic racing. Yeah.
We should just cast on the racetrack of like a F1 stadium.
Oh my god, yes.
So we get the crowd and we get the car sound.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Can we move the? Actually, Virtual. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna move the studio next to a highway, and we just sit there.
Right.
Yeah. Way
that
better.
sounds great. I mean, everyone loves the sound of trailers and.
Oh yeah,
bikes.
if you're really lucky, you get like one with horses, and they.
Horse and a carriage. Move the cast to the Renaissance Fair.
No, I didn't mean the horses ran the car. I meant they were in the back of the car, just making horse noises.
Oh, like that. And you could hear that on a highway?
I don't know. Maybe if we said
I've never heard a horse on a highway.
Well, you also sit inside the car, but we're outside. We're sitting outside.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I don't know. I think right now we're hearing the sounds of German folk music as it's a celebration in that country with how well Big are doing.
I think what my challenge is this today and throughout the entirety of the Trackmania World Tour is to see how difficult setups I can give you, so you have to transition back into the game. Like, what is the worst transition you can get back into the Trackmania game?
Yeah, going from horse noises to somehow get back on track is hard, but listen, I've got it under control. And speaking of control, Jnic,
I mean,
we're into round 1 of this fantastic map.
We are, and what I thought was right to the right leg in terms of transition is we could say that these players are playing like there's so much horsepower in their cars right now because they are so fast. The traction that they have on these tracks, I mean, you can see they're going for low airtime. Masa going so tight, actually a little bit too tight, touching the inside corner. That's going to slow him down quite a bit, but that was a beautiful landing though. That's what you want to see. You want to go as tight as possible.
Ooh, I thought we saw a crash there, but that was just a name tag. This map, stylistically, I feel like suits ITB, even though it's picked by Big.
Oh.
Because of the bobsleigh elements, because of the jumps, it's similar to parkour in a way from last season, which was one of their specialties. So I don't think they mind this map pick from Big, but it's gonna be all in right now to win, because they have to get 4 maps in a row.
Yeah.
Mime looking for the first draw here on the identity, getting that first jump, but Grenadi's getting closer. A lot of speed here onto the second one. slowing down to get an inside approach to the finish, but Mime will hold on. That's a first place for him. And a draw secured.
First place for Mime, getting the first round to at least be a tie instead of anything worse. We have seen quite a lot of mistakes from Elcon today, I feel like. So he needs to... I think it's specifically on the tricky parts, some of the moving blocks, or indeed here it could be on the transition jumps to the bobsleigh turns. But hopefully that's just some jitters he needs to get out. Once you're in a mind state where you get beaten 3 maps in a row as well,
it's so tough to come back from. Yeah, and we did see a lot of crashes from Into the Breach yesterday as well. Unfortunately, they were one of the less consistent teams, but they were also put under pressure on the pace, right, by their opponents.
Yeah.
Which kind of forces the mistakes, because if you're not driving, you know, close to the world record pace, you're not going to win the rounds anyways, so you kind of have to take those risks. But here, they have found their footing, at least in round 1, and they're doing well in round 2. Interesting approach from Mime. Very inside. Gonna have less speed on this bobsleigh, but it's also easier to control that tilt that you get when you go down the turn.
That was a good exit. He kept most of the speed right there.
And you can there too.
You can risk getting a very sideways exit. That's Grenadi. Oh, 2 mistakes in a row. It's unfortunately going to send him all the way back. And Masa is now going to try to do what Mime did last round and deny them from getting any extra points. Want to see if he can get that. Oh, Elcon. That is such a wonky line. I think he has enough speed to make this jump, but not... Okay.
Masa pushing as much as he can, but Mime just remains a little bit ahead once again. 2 first places back-to-back for him, and this time it will give Into the Breach 2 points.
I love when the players, they do lines where you can't do anything but hold your breath while they do the jump, because it looks so risky.
It's so stunning, because, like, when we're watching the car just moves, right? But they are making these decisions live right there, just saying, okay, I'm gonna go this close to the corner. And I could never play at this level.
The thing is, Wirtual and I obviously have a lot of experience with the game, and we can usually tell if something is going to crash way before it happens. But on situations like that, it is too close to tell, and that's why we get so silent. It's because it's such a risky move, but it somehow usually works out for the players.
It's like, we can tell it's close, we can't tell if they're gonna get through or not, but they have a greater feeling for it. It is spectacular. So next round out, look at this again. Mime and Elcon going slightly lower. Grenadi and Masa opting for more speed there. The risk then is that this turn you could have a very shaky exit, but Grenadi controls it. Masa with a great lead, and Grenadi will join them up there. They have yet to really strike on this map of theirs, the second choice. Control, but right now they are in formation to ace, and Elcon making a mistake. Mime again having to battle the 2 Germans up front in a 1v2 to try to deny the ace.
Oh, Mime actually jumping up to second place there. Very, very important for ITB, but he goes too low. He goes too low, and that's going to be an ace, it looks like, for Berlin International Gaming, putting them up to 5 points. Indeed, 2 points ahead of ITB, and now they are putting on the pressure. If they win this map, they won the entire series against ITB with a full sweep.
And not just an ace, I believe also a record or close to it. It's a 1:10:54 in the record, 1:10:46, so amazing time from Masa. Very close to that record.
Yeah, I mean, they are driving really fast. They definitely are, but Elcon, I think he is he's relying on Mime being able to deny quite a lot right now, and it is dangerous to put your teammate in that spot. So
oh, was that another mistake on the inside corner? Yeah, both of them clipping the turn, going too close to it, and this is just very unfortunate for them. It's so tough mentally being down 3 maps, and then, you know, like, okay, let's reset, let's come back on the next map, and then they ace you again. It's just like the mental advantage Big has here is very strong. But Into the Breach, if they can, you know...
What happened to Masa?
He made a small mistake.
Small blunder.
In the downhill.
I do think that Big getting 3 points like this is something that ITB just cannot afford to give them. It is, like... It's very unfortunate, but it's when you are under this much pressure, it's so easy to make a mistake.
So the one condition here is that Mime remains in second place here. If they get aced again, I think you can close the curtains and call it a day. But Mime, he's still fighting here. He's still not giving up, and he wants
oh my God, Masa!
But Masa getting extremely close to crushing their dreams. They still have a decent shot here because they have some space to work with.
They do, but like that was incredibly close. Masa with a great risk there in the ending, just to see if they could itch out that ace, but now they're on match point. They're on track point, match point. If they win this now, they need 3 points. Is all that's standing between them and acing into the breach as the first team in Trackmania World Tour history to do so.
Yeah, no team has beaten them 4-0. Although Solary, I think, is the team that might have gotten the closest to it with their performance.
Yeah, 4-1, I think it was.
Yeah, but here we do see Big being on great performance in the first weekend of Trackmania World Tour. And right now, Elcon has gone through the map without crashing, maybe rebalanced the mental game here. And if he can drive good runs together with Mime, then maybe they can make a comeback happen. Depends all on these jumps and the control they have on it.
Yeah, but Masa's in a great position, 0.4 ahead of the opposition here. So Elcon needs to push.
Though.
Yeah, Grenady has crashed. So Masa is just looking for that 1 point. That will be more than enough. Pushing them up to 8 points is great. So as long as he doesn't crash, I think Masa is going to get this tie, which is amazing.
Another jump to go. Does he get it? Does land it and will deny any ace. It's just a draw and it puts Big 1 point closer. And at this point, Into the Breach need an ace. At some point, because they cannot afford to just trade victories even.
The thing about it is that both Grenady and Masa, they both have very good pace on this map, and they don't really crash at the same round, ever.
No, and I gotta give big credits to Masa. This is one of the best matches I think we've ever seen from Masa in the World Tour. He has not crashed a lot of rounds, and he's been consistently driving that pace, and Grenady as well. Just so high impact driving, like sniping away those clutch rounds to get the ace, to deny the ace. Just really good synergy from them. And it's so fun to see when the squad works because it works well.
It really does. They have
it's
such
like
good synergy right now. Mime and Elcon are in the back. Mime trying to push here to get that first place, but Elcon needs to be there for his teammate now.
As we speak of the sun, it shines, as we say, but here, unfortunate clip from Masa in that transition. Just barely clipping the wheel, and the snowball effect is gonna make that a crash,
and
but
Grenady
another
as
mistake.
well.
Wait, so hang on for a second here. This could be the match right now. If Masa gets past Mime, that's it. But if Grenady also holds on to this first place, they are 1 point closer to winning the game. Elcon passing him though.
Yeah, they want to go low and accelerate as soon as possible. So they're going to release in the jump. And then
this is very close. Elcon. Yeah, Grenady getting it. And is that going to be the game? Masa coming through, but it's in 4th place. So it's still one more chance.
Point. Yeah, Into the Breach needs to ace now to put themselves up to 9 points as well. But I mean, it's gonna be difficult. Acing Big on this map looks like a task and a half.
You have to clutch with 1 health point left. Not at all easy, but they're gonna give it one last chance here Into the Breach. Full send it. You need to drive 110 mid to 110 lows even to get that ace against Masa and Grenady when they're driving like this. And right now, Masa has first place onto the first transition. Elcon getting decent speed there though, and will get a bit closer. They have both at least gotten past Grenady in the start.
They have, but Masa holding on to that clutch first/second place. As long as Grenady and Masa don't get 3rd and 4th, they will win this series against Into the Breach. And they are looking like they're hungry for blood here. 1st and 2nd place now. Elcon and Mime need to overtake both the big players. And I mean, they are driving tandem here, shoulder to shoulder in the front. It's gonna be a difficult armor to break.
The last jumps of this match, potentially. Masa and Grenady so dominant on the first 3 maps. What do we do here? Grenady missing though. Hold on. Hold your horses and the noises they make. Masa, last jump. Is he gonna clutch it out for his team? That's a shaky landing. That's a he gets passed by 1. Is it both? It's only 1 player.
Masa
300ths of a second.
Holding the 2nd place by the skin of his teeth.
We missed that in the observer point of view, but extremely close round there. And it will be a 4-0 sweep from Big.
I mean,
Fantastic
that's
game 1.
Impressive performance from Big. You love to see them come back into stage 2 with such an amazing, like, 2 victories in 2 days.
And I love this podium. Like, it's just Grenady. Everyone else left.
Yeah, Masa was like, yeah, I'm dipping. This not.
Great game. Grenady is
GG,
number
goodbye.
1. It's like that podium meme where you have, you know, all the people and you just remove the people. It's just one person popping the champagne on the podium. We see some replays from the map here, but really, I think this game was won on map 3. Taking away Vortex there.
Yeah, I mean, that was
such a crushing victory.
Yeah, absolutely. ITB definitely were relying on their strat on Vortex, the bug slide that they had. They were relying on that to be just a for sure win, but they couldn't clutch it out at the end. They made too many mistakes. They fell off the map multiple times.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but maybe someone else will pick up where they left off and show the line in another game. We have more matches coming up. That was just the first of 3 games today. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, 2 more games of Trackmania in the similar style as this being played. I'd say if you want to go anywhere, it's only to get more snacks.
Oh yeah, get more snacks, get your family, your dog's dog in the room with you to watch this. We're going to be right back here with G1 versus Alliance. So we'll see you then.
See you then.